Today's video is sponsored by YouGov. This recipe is so good, I think it's going to change the contents of your refrigerator this year. Let me explain. This jar is filled with pickled mushrooms. Now, I didn't start with this recipe. I started with these, just really basic pickled mushrooms. Now, there's nothing wrong with just basic pickled mushrooms. They're actually quite good, and they're really easy to make. All you do is just start with about a pound of really any kind of mushroom. The meatier and thicker they are, the better. So just like the grocery store white button cap, work well in this scenario. Just make sure that you clean them really well, run them under water, it's okay. Once they're clean, chop the ends off, save them for the garden. They make great compost, and now we're just going to boil the mushrooms. Toss them in a pan, cover them with some salt, cover them with water, and then bring it up to a boil. We're gonna bring the heat down to a simmer and allow these to just boil gently for about 20 minutes. Now, once they're done, you can strain that, but I mean, honestly, this mushroom broth here is really good, so I'm just gonna throw it in a jar and keep that in the fridge for a few days. Maybe Monica and I can make some soup. Now, on my journey, I've discovered that you can use just about any vinegar you like. Most recipes call for a 5% white vinegar. This rice vinegar I have here has a little bit less. This red wine vinegar I have here has a little bit more. It's all gonna work, but for this recipe, we're gonna keep it basic. So back in the saucepan, I'm gonna add about a half cup white vinegar and a half cup water, along with about a tablespoon of sugar and a tablespoon of salt, a few peppercorns. I'm just using a mixed peppercorn, and this one I'm just trying out. I'm just gonna toss in a little bit of Dijon mustard. I don't know if it's right, but I just feel like it can't be wrong. And now that I've played that last bit of audio back, I've just realized that I'm gonna hear in the comments section how incredibly wrong I am. So I'm not necessarily gonna talk about canning in this video because, I'll be honest, I've never done it. And truthfully, I'm gonna finish these pretty dang quick. So I'm just gonna fill this up to the top and then pour over the dissolved pickling broth. I'm running it through a strainer because the last time I made it, it was a little too peppery. Fill it all the way up, put a lid on it, and let it sit at least overnight. So now for our next set of mushrooms, we're gonna do the same process. We're gonna clean them, run them under the water, make sure they're nice and clean, and then, oh my gosh, I just found a mushroom that has 2 stems. That's kind of neat. Now, this recipe I found on Serious Eats, and it's an older recipe, and it comes from the cookbook Bar Tartine, Techniques and Recipes. It was from the chefs of Bar Tartine. So I'm not gonna give away the full recipe. I'm just gonna link to the Serious Eats article that has it listed below. But I'll just walk through essentially what we did here. So once our mushrooms are prepped, we're just gonna throw them into a small baking dish and just coat them with a neutral flavored oil and some salt. I'm just gonna mix that up and toss them right in the oven, 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Which is plenty of time for today's sponsor, YouGov. YouGov allows you to share your opinion on things you care about and earn money while shaping the news. Millions of people are sharing their opinions on politics, sports, entertainment, and so much more. I mean, I love giving my opinions on politics. I could do it all day, unfortunately. But fortunately, YouGov allows you to do that, and they pay you for it. YouGov is free to join and easy to use to gain extra cash. As a member, you'll earn points by giving your actual opinions for things that matter by completing short surveys and polls. I do the polls while I'm waiting for my videos to render and upload. I mean, talk about a side hustle. This is a side hustle for side hustles. So gang, click the link in the description below and take some surveys to earn cash over on YouGov. YouGov, thanks for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so it's been almost 20 minutes. Now, for all of these pickling broths, they're gonna require some level of salt and some level of vinegar. This recipe is no different. We're gonna be using some kosher salt and red wine vinegar. Now, we're also gonna add some garlic, some fresh parsley. If you ever see my tip on keeping parsley and cilantro fresh, check that out over my Instagram at the Saucestache guy. Now, the nice thing with this pickling is you can get a little fun with the herbs and spices. For this recipe, it's marjoram, a little bit of sweet paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, and then all of these have some level of sweetness. For this one here, we're gonna be using some brown sugar. Now the mushrooms are done, pull those out of the oven and save that broth. I'm telling you, that broth is really good. Now I'm just gonna spoon these right into that flavoring mixture, kind of make sure that they're all coated, and then throw them into a mason jar. They look amazing. I mean, these look incredible. Now I'm gonna pack these all the way up to the top and then just throw the lid on, put them in the refrigerator, and let them sit overnight. They'll be ready to eat in a few hours, but honestly with these, the longer you let them sit, the better. So now it's the next day, and we have 2 different sets of pickled mushrooms from our basic and are a little bit more involved, but still pretty incredibly simple. Let's see what Monica has to say. Before that, if you're having a long day, just make sure you flail around. It'll be better.
Mushrooms. I love that.
Delicious, right?
I love this, yeah.
Okay. So the last version I made didn't have that mustard in there.
Okay.
Do you taste the mustard?
I do a little bit. It's subtle, but I actually like this more, and it brings out the flavor really good of the mushroom. Like it's just really delicious.
It does make it pop. That one's yours.
Should I have it now?
Yeah, you can have it, baby. Basic pickled mushrooms, super easy, super good. They last, I mean, for me, I would say in vinegar like that, maybe it would last a few weeks in the fridge. I wouldn't go beyond that. If you want to do canning and make these last a lot longer, like actually preserve them, I'll leave us some links for some good canning videos. But maybe let's try these. These are...
I'm kind of nervous to try these.
Oh, I'm so excited. These are going to be tasty.
Okay.
It's going to be different.
That's delicious.
Right?
I love this, yeah.
Right?
It's got like a smoky, meaty flavor. Like smoky is what I think. And it's like kind of a few bites in, you're like, oh, that's smoky.
So the original recipe called for sweet paprika, and I added smoked paprika just because I thought that would have like a nice flavor to it. I liked it. Do you think it was a little too overpowering?
No, it's perfect.
So, and I would toss them in just about anything. I mean, what do you think, baby?
Yeah, for sure. I was actually thinking they'd be really good, like sliced up in a sandwich or like
that's for sure.
On top of like a vegan hot dog. Or in any kind of salad or bowl.
But what about even just like chopping them up and throwing them on some rice? You know, like what you said, like a bowl.
Yeah, like throwing them in rice, even in pasta, or even, so a cold or hot pasta, like a pasta salad, anti-pasta.
Yeah.
You know, really good.
I mean, it's endless. So for me, pickling mushrooms is going to be the thing this year. I think a lot of people are going to do it. You're going to see a lot of different recipes for these. Yeah, and really, you just got to try it because, I mean, it's really good. I mean, they're really good.
It's really good.
Yeah. Pickled mushrooms. Happy New Year.